Well, it's National Vocations Week, and Father Mike's asked me just to give a little video talking about my vocation. And this is something that's interesting for each and every one of us, is that each of us has a vocation. It comes from the Latin word vocare. It means to call. And that's the reality. Our Lord has called each and every one of us to a universal call to holiness. What does that mean? That means we're supposed to live a life in pursuit of Him, a lived life well. But for some of us, that particular form of that life takes a unique shape. For me, for example, it was the call to priesthood. And that is a very interesting story how it ended up here, because I was one that would never have thought I would have been a priest. I was thinking I'd be having a petroleum engineering degree or a chemical degree. I thought I was going to do some time in the service. But the Lord has called me to service. And it was just interesting how when I began to hear the calling, and to each of us, it's a different sound, it's a different way the call comes, but we know the voice of the Lord when we hear it. And for me, I kept hearing, I want you. I want you. And I would say to the Lord, but you have me, Lord. I give my time, I give my effort, I give these things to you. He's like, yeah, but you have not given all of me. I want all of you, was what I kept hearing. And the Lord kept hounding me down, and one day I finally said, yes, Lord, I will go. But you have to open the door for me. And this is something that is amazing, that when you give the Lord an opportunity to enter into your life in such a deep way, He brings that particular calling to the surface in the most profound and beautiful ways you could ever imagine. For me, I would never exchange this life or trade it for anything else, because in it, I rest in whom the Lord has called me to be. And thus, for those of you who maybe are feeling like the Lord is calling you to something, take that leap of faith and say to the Lord, fine, what do you call me to? Where will you lead me? Where you go, I will go. And in that way, you may be surprised at where the Lord calls you to. Thank you, and have a blessed Vocations Awareness Week.